Dropped out of college and got a job as a bike courier. Mostly just to piss off my parents.
Narration. In the comics that take place before Infamous 2, Cole mentions dropping out of college 6 credits short of graduating because one of his professors badmouthed his friend, which at most warrants switching professors, not dropping out of college altogether. And even if he did drop out just to piss off his parents, what was his big falling out with his parents that he thought giving up a degree and getting a job he hated was a good idea?
Thousands died. 5 square blocks, smashed into rubble.
In the first game, it was 6 square blocks. So, which is it?
A beast is coming. A monster only I can defeat, provided that I am strong and ready to face him.
Why is Cole the only one that can defeat the beast? There are other conduits that could go on the same journey to become strong enough to do it. Kessler even said that if Cole didn't work out, he'd get someone else to do it. Thankfully, Naughty Dog let Sucker Punch use their motion capture studio so this game didn't have to suffer from Jury Sly Cooper animation. Those pixelated shadows, on the other hand...
This is gonna be a short-term visit, man. We're just gonna get in, I'm gonna get some new powers, and then we're gonna come right back.
Come on, man, you deserve to relax. We're going to New Marais.
Hey, I need to be back here and ready when it shows up, Zeke.
Too bad Kessler didn't give you an estimated time of arrival to go with that prophetic vision. You could be waiting a day, a few months, or several years before it finally comes. Given that Kessler got married and had 2 kids before it arrived, I'd be putting my money on years. So why is he in such a hurry?
Work? Easy, Quo. When we get there, we're gonna be about the 3 B's. That's beer, booze, and mechanical bulls.
Considering how humor works in this game, I'm going to assume mechanical bulls is a euphemism for riding someone. Judging by Cole's reaction, I don't think I'm too far off.
Gentlemen, I don't think that you understand the scope of what is going on here.
Why are you speaking to both of them? Zeke's the one that made the comment. If you look closely at the bottom of the screen, you can see the beast taking form, except cargo shorts here blocks the frame where it comes into existence because Sucker Punch couldn't animate his body coming together. It's really satisfying to see entire buildings crumble down in the chaos and the pier breaking apart, but this is the only time in the whole game we'll ever see this level of destruction, even when the beast comes back for a final segment of the game. From the context given in the series up to this point, I had no idea the beast was going to be a 100-foot volcano monster, which came as a wonderful surprise and fulfills my giant monster fetish. The arm slowly being the last part of the body to sink into the water cliché. The pier breaking up here is because the beast is crawling on the harbor floor to catch up with Cole. My problem is that there's no way it could crawl that fast underwater and get to the ship in the same time it took Cole to run there. This gravity nullifying power only affects Cole and the pier, but not the ship or anyone on deck. Neither Zeke or Quo start shooting at the giant monster about to crush Cole, the only person who can stop it. QuickTime events. Why didn't he just use Ionic Storm in the first place, instead of just shooting wimpy bolts? Blink and you'll miss 2 whole seconds of the beast completely getting its head blown off, but this is a T-rated game, so we couldn't have any more time than that to revel in it. Based on everything we know from the first game, this should have killed Cole.
The beast had drained me, broken my powers.
This is the excuse they used to make us go through the progression system again. Also, how'd they get him out of the water without electrocuting themselves? Did they use the crane on the ship? If this news feed was able to broadcast footage of the beast, even briefly, why does the news later erroneously think that there's a storm going down the East Coast and not a destructive giant monster? Is this footage only being broadcasted to the ship?
I had been given powers to defeat the beast. I was strong, I was ready, I had fought it with everything I had.
Except for your shock grenades, which we couldn't use in the fight because the game only called for rockets, bolts, and storms of lightning. This map shows the beast keeping pace with the ship fairly well, yet a week later when Cole arrives in New Marais, it's barely traveled 50 miles.
I don't know if you've ever let someone down, got your ass kicked, or straight up failed.
Cole's narration switches between past and present tense, making me wonder if he's telling the story in real time to the player or to his conduit followers once the game is finished, because there's no way in hell he's telling the story to a school of fish at the bottom of the ocean. Anyone fortunate enough to have a replica of Cole's backpack knows that the strap on the back wouldn't be able to keep the amp in place given all the jostling he does throughout the game. Also, Cole was wearing that bag before Zeke ever started making the amp, and no backpacks I've ever seen have a strap like that. Cole has a backpack specifically made for a purpose that he cannot have predicted ahead of time. The shading of Cole's model in this shot around the collar of his shirt makes it look like he has never had his shirt off in sunlight in his life.
Cole, looks like you could lower that bridge if you give it some power.
Beats swimming.
Just don't overcharge it. A fire could blow up the entire village.
Yeah, it could. I could take all these guys out at once.
Oh yeah, and the women and the children and the pets.
Cole is a dick to women and children and pets.
Cole, move! Move!
How is Quo able to see that Cole is about to get hit by a mortar shot to warn him to move? Also, unnecessary orders. Discount New Orleans. The trunk continues to glow purple after Cole takes the blast core out of it. Was there another one in there that he just ignored?
McGrath! The shards there! Oh God!
Why did Wolf's lab explode anyway, outside of scattering blast shards and dead drops for the sake of gameplay?
Whoa! McGrath!
He survived that.
My God. You look just the same.
Same as who?
Kessler.
The Kessler skin only exists to get a mild chuckle out of players during this scene. There's no way Cole can carry the RFI in his backpack. Anyone with a replica would know this as well. It's good for carrying clothes and small and medium-sized items, but not much else. There also isn't even a bulge in his bag to show that he's got in there to begin with. Is there any real reason why Cole has to pass out after absorbing a blast core other than to give us a countdown of how long we have until the beast reaches Numere? Delson doesn't pass out in Second Son, so why should Cole? Also, Wolf should have gotten Cole a sandwich to go with that blast core.
So, he's not like your significantly older boyfriend or something like that?
I think the term that you're looking for here is father figure.
How long was Quo working with Wolf to be confident in calling him a father figure? It isn't getting attached to someone while undercover against secret agent rules.
Hey, man, you climbed all the way up there. Might as well come down with style.
Zeke suggests using a thunder drop while jumping from the clock tower, thereby encouraging him to murder anyone milling around the area he lands at.
Wolf had speculated that absorbing blast cores might expose some of your dormant powers.
Alright, how do I activate them?
I think the key is to stress your body by using your powers in different ways.
In the first game, you only get a trophy for completing all the stunts. In this game, you get new powers, and the stunts are much easier to pull off. Cole can now use all his powers in the game and not just upgraded versions of his base powers and switch between them whenever he pleases.
Zeke, I'm in position for the rally, but I'm gonna stay out of sight until Bertrand takes the stage. I'll meet you inside.
Why would Bertrand give a speech the same day Cole arrives in Numere, and after his militia have kidnapped Wolf? Doesn't he know Cole would want to go after him? Why not just make another mandatory broadcast on the television so he doesn't expose himself? Cole waits on the rooftop for 2 hours before Bertrand starts his speech, when he could have been spending his time growing his powers or anything else productive. Cole walks through a crowd of people and not a single person recognizes him and alerts the authorities.
What'd I miss?
Basically, Bertrand's been telling everyone that, you're the devil.
Oh.
The people standing right next to Zeke didn't hear him address Cole in a rally meant to protest him. Bertrand's lip flaps don't match up with anything he's saying in this shot.
No! They thought!
I'm unsheathing a sword that's most likely for decorative purposes in the middle of my speech to show that I mean business next to my army of actual gun-toting masked flunkies.
Let's get the hell out of here. Figure something else
Whoa,
out.
whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, we gotta do this now, man. Otherwise, he's gonna kill Wolf.
You don't have to stay here, Zeke.
Hey, man. I ain't going nowhere.
From let's get out of here to I'm not going anywhere in 2 seconds flat. Not that his presence here makes any difference whatsoever.
Up there! Freak!
This dude knows there's a swamp monster hanging out on top of the rafters, and still no one gave 2 craps about Cole being among them. These people are f***ing blind. This car crashed into the utility pole just for the sole purpose of letting Cole ride the power line to jump onto Bertrand's car.
About time you and I have a chat.
I got nothing to say to you. Freak.
That's racist?
Wait. If I were you, I'd be more worried about my head.
Once again, Cole waits on a rooftop for several hours at a time for the next plot point. The least Quo could have done is slip him a beer while he wastes precious time. The interrogator needs a flashlight to navigate in the twilight hours only so the player knows who they're looking for, even though no one else is wearing a bright purple outfit.
Section 150 of the Federal Penal Code stipulates that a law enforcement officer is authorized to commandeer a civilian vehicle in order to catch a suspect, escapee, or prevent a crime.
Penal code.
Cole proves he is just a juvenile teenager in a man's body by making penis jokes. Cole engages a group of militia 30 feet away from where the interrogator's standing. This guy has to be drunk off his ass not to notice the fighting and immediately relocate Wolf.
Big-ass, filthy mole monsters. For once, I'm not the biggest freak in town.
Cole acts as if there haven't been any stranger conduits in existence than himself, including Sasha, the woman with 5 tongues who secreted hallucinogens, and Alden, who obsessed over psychic abilities and built a tower and a giant robot out of trash. And that's not even counting the Beast.
You're gonna want to hurry. I think we tripped the alarm on the way out.
Quo is bad at being a secret agent.
Dealing with the militia. Death hanging crazy.
Numeray's modern judicial system still participates in executions via hanging. If the militia had conducted a search within 20 feet of the crash, they would have found Cole hiding in the storm drain and finished him off. Why is hitting the sand off the back of a crashed car worse than jumping off any given height in the whole game to actually put Cole out of commission for 4 hours?
Cole! Cole! You there?
Yeah,
What the hell happened?
militia got Quo. And Wolf's dead.
Dead?
Zeke could have called Cole at any point in those 4 hours, but he only chooses to once he's done licking his wounds and crawls out of the storm drain.
What's with the binoculars, Zeke? Spying on some chick in the shower?
Not this time.
Creeper.
Whoa?
Cole thinks this is Quo, even though Nyx has no characteristics to match hers except being female.
So you, all you gotta do is help me break a few crackers.
Now that's racist. What are all these oil drums doing on the roofs anyway, unless Nyx placed them near the banners beforehand? And if that's the case, why didn't these militia patrolling the area get rid of them?
Spark the banners, man! Do it!
Igniting one banner magically lights all the banners.
Looks just like home.
This furniture meant to resemble their rooftop hideout in Empire City is already set up when Cole gets to Numeray. Zeke couldn't have possibly arranged this all himself, so it's more like the Room of Requirement from Harry Potter.
You join the militia?
Well, it's more like a Zeke Dunbar. Double agent.
Despite all the examples of Zeke being a liability in the first game, he still ends up being a better spy than Quo.
For our side. Right.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Well, my faith's been shaken before, Zeke.
If you didn't read the comics, you were missing out on so much context regarding Cole and Zeke's rocky friendship.
I did. We fill the streetcar up with explosives, we get it going real fast, we ram it through the front door, and boom!
Fire will make a great diversion.
But, folks left caged up there be burned alive.
Oh, come on, Zeke. I mean, if we do this thing with any sort of precision, we're gonna need a much bigger team.
Why would Cole advocate Nyx's plan when they think Quo is in the plantation house? He's basically risking that they'll kill her by crashing the streetcar into the house or by burning her alive.
Militia's been parading around cages full of cops. These guys used to fight against them.
You think we break them out? Give them guns?
Wait. Free cops? No. If we do that, I'm out.
Nyx says she'll jump ship if you free the cops, but she never follows through with it if you do.
Don't you want to see that place burn, baby? I know you do.
You've known him for an hour at most.
You know what they say. Bigger is better.
Nyx sets this up even though Cole never agreed to her plan.
How'd you know I was gonna pick your plan over
'Cause
Zeke's?
you're smart. Cops are just as bad as militia. Bunch of assholes who think they're in the right 'cause they got guns.
Lumping the police together with the militia because they are both authority figures with guns is like saying a cat is also a dog because it's furry and has 4 legs.
So Cole, how'd you do it up in Empire City, man?
What do you mean?
Those made it sound like you own the place. What's your secret?
Fear.
Scare the living shit out of them, and they fell right in line.
Okay, now that I understand.
Cole's answer to Nick's changes depending on if you started with a good or evil save file, and I'm taking a sin off for attention to detail.
Quo was easy to spot, but hard to look at. Bertrand had bled her dry and filled her up again with God knows what.
That's not how the circulatory system works. Or the pulmonary system. Or the immune system. Or, hell, just the whole damn human body. I don't care if Quo's a conduit or not, she's fucking dead. Also, this is the most lazy-ass way to explain how she got her powers. She's the only prime conduit up to this point who didn't get them through a ray sphere blast of some kind, and the best sucker punch ever gives us is God knows what? Did Cole really have to zap the restraints to unlock them? Given that they were made of metal, he could have just electrocuted Quo just as easily. Wouldn't there be a button somewhere to lower her down and he could open them by hand, and we could have avoided waking up the Vermok altogether? This mission is one of the more annoying ones because Sarah always gets in the way or gets hurt, thus making me stop what I'm doing to heal her.
Please. You healed me. You gotta heal them too. They're friends. Rebels. They work for my uncle, fighting the militia.
If the rebels have been fighting the militia, why are we only just now seeing them on the second night?
It was so horrible. They tried to feed me to it.
Oh, I understand why the militia is making these sacrifices, but not with my kin.
LaRoche condones human sacrifice.
All right, you'll understand when you're older.
I will not!
Now don't...
How old is she already? 18?
He saved me. There were hundreds of those monsters. He fought them all.
Gross over-exaggeration of the trip here. Infamous 2 unintentionally inspires Behemoth from Evolve.
Well, hey, now that is a really new look for you.
Was she always wearing that top with the snowflake print under her blazer the whole time? Because if so, that is nauseatingly uncanny.
Oh. Did forget a cape, but, come on, it's a little extreme, don't you think?
Cole would be excellent at CinemaSins. Also, Quo's original character design did in fact include a cape. The ice on Cole's cheek melts away in a matter of seconds.
No, you don't, McGrath. You don't know. We are not the same. You got your powers in an explosion. It was over in a flash. What they did to me was slow.
Then maybe you can explain what they did, because we still don't have a clear answer.
Don't yell at me! I don't know how!
Cole's already said twice that you don't know how to control your powers. You don't need to tell us a third time.
We're gonna start right now. Let's see what you can do.
Well, I can fly.
I don't know how to control my powers, but I can deconstruct my body into ice crystals and fly without any difficulty.
It's a Hixicle.
Hixicle. If the graveyard is full, it was a really bad idea for Wolf to hide the photos in the graves. Eventually, someone would have come and said, "Screw prestige, I'm going to start burying our dead in any coffin that has room, and oh look, a random photo!" Then Cole and Quo would be stuck with no trail to follow.
Oh, I'm telling you, Quo. The two of us working together, unstoppable.
Quo literally did nothing to help me fight the monster and only ended up getting in my way. Cole's goal was to instruct Quo how to use her powers, and it ended up being more of a wing it and figure out how to do it yourself approach.
No, man, I ain't going nowhere.
You alright?
Yeah, fit as a fiddle.
It's a big-ass fiddle. Better watch those feet. Gators aren't the worst thing in the water these days.
Too bad. Nice day for a skinny dip.
Ooh. Go right ahead. I'm not stopping you.
But gators. Also, how much more boob do you need to see from her? She's barely covered. The fog is dense only in this one area so that we don't see the behemoth before its big reveal.
She told me about Bertrand with the ray sphere and a ring of outcasts. They were prostitutes and swamp dwellers, anybody whose death he thought would go unnoticed. Nix watched as her family was swallowed up in the blast.
With the conclusion of the scene, Nix is already a far more relatable character than Quo, with even more backstory and fleshed out motivations.
What? No. No way. We keep it for ourselves. Rip off the powers from everybody else, yeah?
Someone at Sucker Punch filed this line of dialogue into the "used for the main plot of the next infamous game" category.
You don't understand.
I don't understand what, bitch? That you feel used and violated by a machine?
You know what? I have known you 5 minutes and I'm sick and tired!
Quo and Nix have an antagonistic relationship simply because their powers are polar opposites. Every time I have to watch Cole stop Quo and Nix from fighting, I can't stop reciting the prophecy from Pokemon 2000. You know, disturb not the harmony of fire, ice, or lightning, lest these titans wreak destruction upon the world in which they clash? No? Just me? Okay.
Like food, like shelter, like antibiotics. I haven't seen any of the militia suffering from the plague.
Bertrand must be hoarding all the meds.
A news report already said that the plague isn't bacterial or viral, and we find out later that it's actually radiation poisoning, and yet the militia are controlling their symptoms with antibiotics.
I made a map of all the militia patrols. Maybe it'll help you find the stash.
I would love to see that.
Come on.
Perfect.
Good work, Quo.
This is...
Cole congratulates Quo, even though Zeke did all the work necessary to make her plan viable.
I say, you dress me up like one of the militia guys, and I go on an ass-kicking spree.
You mean a massacre?
Whatever, man. Then you swoop in and save the day. You'll be a hero to those idiots.
The point of Nix's plan is to make the rebels want the conduit's help, but really, why wouldn't they already? LaRoche already said his men think Cole can walk on water. Her plan is redundant.
What you think, baby?
Oh, I think you're crazy.
I think you like it.
He hasn't shown the least bit of interest in your idea. Saying he likes it isn't going to make him like it. Quo wasn't very sneaky about stealing this ambulance, otherwise we wouldn't have this much resistance. Main character is considered evil, and thus he has sexual desires for anything he sees with a pair of boobs. This is the first time in the series we get to play as someone other than Cole, and all you do is shoot a cannon. We don't even get to play as Nix. None of the turrets we come across in the whole game has the same explosive ammo type as this one. All the militia we see in the game wear orange and black, not white and red. Do you expect me to believe that Nix was able to find an outfit in her size with the preferred style of webbed sleeves when the group she's stealing from is exclusively made out of men?
Nix, I'm wired into the fort's PA. Check this out.
Yeah, attention, rebel idiots. Put down your weapons and surrender. The militia will not tolerate this kind of disobedience.
Cole antagonizes the rebels through the intercom like no one would recognize his voice, or the fact that, despite his actor being from Texas, does not put on a southern accent to make it more believable.
Now, if you're a rebel, we're gonna shoot your pet.
Animal cruelty. That'll piss him off.
Deservedly so.
Militia start shooting at people for sport, yet they claim to be our protectors? Tell you what, together we must force them from Fort Philipe and out of Ascension Parish.
I'm in. In hell, what kind of man would I be if I just sat back and watched?
A dick?
Everything's in place. LaRoche and his men are great. Oh my god. Can you focus for 5 minutes?
This is the only time in the game LaRoche acts remotely perverted, like this was a sad attempt for a one-off joke.
Ours to smash into pieces, right?
Oh, we swap powers, yeah?
Why do you come up with the worst
All right,
ideas?
We'll decide that later.
I would say skip when Quo and Nix start fighting, but Cole pretty much does it for me. During the assault, you have just as much to worry about from the rebels inadvertently shooting you with rockets as you do actually fighting the militia.
You want a new power? How about one of mine? How about I get one of yours, huh?
No.
Hey, you gotta admit, it makes sense to swap powers. The stronger we are as a team, the more we get done. Look at what we did today.
When did it ever get established that this machine allows them to swap powers? All they know is that it goes one way, not two.
No. No, if you're gonna swap powers with anyone, it needs to be me.
If Quo doesn't want to go through the same torture she already did, why doesn't she just let Nix swap powers with Cole? She clearly dislikes her enough to probably warrant a snide smirk watching Nix go through the same thing she did.
You pick her? I have no choice, Cole. I have to hunt you down like a criminal.
There are far too many reasons why Quo's attempt to strong-arm Cole into switching with her make no sense.
Criminal.
That's sexist.
Bertrand!
Cole throws a grenade at the helicopter even though it makes a sound for his rockets, which he hasn't regained the ability to use yet.
Whoa? She took off after that chopper, man. Went down pretty hard. And, Bertrand's on the run.
Did she get any of my powers?
Nope. This thing just blew up.
It's a good thing Cole was lucky enough to stand on the input side of the transfer device, otherwise Quo would have gotten his powers and we'd have to go through another coaching session all over again.
Oh, there's no way he's walking away from this one. Hey, old man! Breathing in here?
Did Cole forget that Bertrand's a conduit? From general knowledge, he knows that conduits would survive something like this. Cole ignores all the terrified screaming to look for Bertrand until he hears the behemoth roar, which then forces him to investigate the cause of the screaming.
Okay.
The behemoth causes the ground to shake and crack when it takes a step, as I should expect. Take note of this because I'll be using it later. Giant monster boss has glowing weak points, so you know where to shoot it, cliché.
The stinking gas, the howling, it was nothing compared to the filth inside. Bertrand. I alone saw his true face.
Bertrand is able to run straight to the shoreline, find a usable boat, and something to cover himself in before anyone besides Cole realizes he was the 50-foot tick destroying the city.
Hey! Heard you're fixing to bring the power back on in Floodtown.
Look, I know you need help out there, but I'm after Bertrand.
Oh, 2 birds with 1 bullet, huh? Oh, I like the way today's shaping up.
2 birds with 1 bullet. South African mercenaries have non-South African accents. LaRoche and Zeke are literally making a defensive strategy without saying a single word and only through hand gestures.
Here we go. Something out there just tripped a motion sensor.
You don't think it could be a civilian trying to make their way to your petty hospital, do you?
Alright, found it. Now, what the hell do I do now?
Shine it on swamp monsters, burn them to dust. What else?
You do know it's a spotlight, right?
I do know that. Very aware of that. However, it's a killer UV spotlight of doom. I'm calling it the Dunbar beam. Shine it on swamp monsters, you get crispy critters. Anyone else just gets a nice golden brown tan.
As much as I like this mission, it invites the inconsistency that if the corrupted die when exposed to Zeke's UV spotlight, they should also die in real sunlight. But they don't.
Sirens, come on!
Guys, this ain't working!
LaRoche has more than enough men to spare 3 of them to stand guard at each of these spotlight posts so Cole doesn't have to try and be in 3 places at once. Then they might actually succeed in holding back the corrupted. Is that a tire on the Ice Heavy's back, or a container for liquid nitrogen?
We want your blast core.
What? Y'all got a blast core? I was gonna tell you.
Before or after you gave it to them?
It's getting a little hard to breathe since those ice freaks lit fire to the wells.
If it's been hard to breathe in Floodtown since the wells were lit on fire, why wasn't LaRoche coughing during the last mission? Or anyone else for that matter? What interest do the Vermach have in burning the wells anyway? Do they have something against drinkable water? And just in case you didn't have enough of transporting crates between 2 medical facilities with kinetic pulse, here, throw this cat between 4 wells all over Floodtown.
Call for hail!
The militia is supposed to be an anti-conduit mercenary group, but they clearly have no problem with their boss being a conduit who can turn other people into monsters, especially the monsters that they're currently fighting.
What? Hey, how you feeling, brother?
Not good.
Each successive blast core Cole absorbs seems to cause him more pain each time, but this never leads anywhere. Like it was a subplot that Sucker Punch either forgot to write the ending into, or scrapped and forgot to take out the evidence that it ever existed.
Let's see if I got enough juice for this thing.
Cole has to check if he's ready to use the RFI for his own sake, since the player just got the note that he still needs 2 more blast cores to power it.
I know what he's up to, but she don't listen, Cole.
Hey, Nix, how about you let the grown-ups talk for a little while?
That's
Thank
what
you.
I'm talking about.
Is there a logical reason why Quo won't let Nix participate in the brainstorming, other than childishly holding a grudge? She's an integral part of this team too, you know.
So you're saying that they bond with him?
Yeah.
What, like a bear and his cubs?
That's what I'm saying.
Come on. Like Bertrand's their mommy?
Yeah.
Nix, how do you even know any of this?
Why do they disbelieve anything Nix says? They already saw Bertrand turning some dude into a monster. They shouldn't need to have a powwow just to say we're gonna take evidence.
I need to think this through. You guys be ready to act!
Think what? Cole!
Cole is just as tired of Quo and Nix's bullshit as I am.
Damn. Looks like half the town's got the plague.
Cole, seeing the Plague Ward as a plot point on the good mission and not the evil one, despite the fact that this is going to become important in a future mission.
I'm still running a bypass on this TV antenna. It's taking longer than I expected. Better leave without me.
If Quo's having this much difficulty rigging the television signal, why didn't she just let Zeke do it?
You should get over there as fast as you can.
I thought I was being sneaky.
You are, but I drugged the guards. This should make it easier for you to sneak around, but they will wake up soon.
If you drugged them beforehand, then why were you worried about sneaking in? And why didn't you tell me earlier? As much as I liked Sly Cooper as a kid, I never liked doing the photo recon sections at the beginning of every level, and I never wanted it recycled into the infamous series, damn it! This particular set of windows is open to allow the player to peek inside, along with anyone else who wanders to this rooftop to spy on Bertrand's evil deeds.
Turn that down, would you, Thomas?
He's got one of his flunkies watching him do this! How have none of them figured out he's Papa Swamp Monster and the giant thing that wrecked the city earlier that same night? The f***?
You're scared, aren't you, son? That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I understand. But you don't need to be scared.
Does Bertrand lure in people willingly to come here without kidnapping them? Does he promise to absolve them of their sins and then do this instead? Because if the creep tried to tell me he's going to free me of all my sins and tells me to meet him up at the abandoned rail yard and not the church, I'm not going!
Don't give up, Nate! We're gonna get that demon out of you! Even if it takes all night!
That person that Bertrand is corrupting is named Nate for a reason. He's voiced by Nate Fox, the director at Sucker Punch. And this scene elates me to no end after he made the horrible choice to make Second Son.
I'm broadcasting the pictures right now. Finally, people get to see the real Bertrand.
But I didn't even take half those pictures. And we saw Cole just standing there watching, not taking any photos at all.
We're getting a lot of calls in already. Half the city wants to join our cause. I'm fixing to unleash hell over there.
That's fine, just hurry. We gotta get to Bertrand before...
Bertrand notices this subtle creaking, but he didn't hear Cole talking to Quo or LaRoche the whole time he was up there.
Cool. You best.
Where is he?
Wait, did he teleport? If he did, then why didn't he do that earlier rather than just steal a boat? Also, his little drink thing just sparked when it hit the ground.
Sorry, honey. My plan was better.
This is not what we agreed on.
No matter what you choose to do, Nyx is going to take some of the monsters as her pets. I assume if you did help her do it, Quo would have gotten her evidence on Bertrand regardless. Cole is literally not necessary to the plot moving forward during this mission. Also, it takes a significant amount of time for her to condition those monsters to listen to her, yet she was able to do it without anyone seeing her this whole mission.
Any family, Cole?
Younger brother? What's up? After what I became, I don't know what we talk about.
Cole suddenly has a younger brother that has never been mentioned up to this point, and the context of this line is so vague that I have no idea what to make of their relationship.
Ain't you a handsome one? I'm gonna call you Cole Jr.
Cole Jr.
That's it! This badge is all mine. Just think of what we could do with my babies, man.
How about we butcher Bertrand? Wasn't that the plan?
No. First, I am going back to the swamp. I'm gonna spend some quality time with them.
After all that, Nyx won't even use the monsters for the reason she said she'd get them. I get that she wanted a replacement family, but that was a waste of time. Haha, Red Ring Electronics referencing the Red Ring of Death for the Xbox 360s. I would think this is funnier, except my original model PlayStation 3 died from the yellow light of death. Sony is hypocritical.
Hey, pretty boy. You like going for a joyride? Sharing in the benefits of me spying on the militia?
Come on, man. Beast is almost here. We don't have time for this.
It's not like you're gonna find the last 2 blast cores before it gets here, so you might as well just kiss your ass goodbye right now.
Jesus, Zeke. Is that a nuke?
Zeke managed to steal a semi carrying a nuclear warhead that Dr. Wolf made, and all Quo's managed to do is steal an ambulance with medicine. Will wonders never cease?
He had Wolf fix up this little pocket rocket for him. Guess it was insurance in case one of his experiments went south. Way south.
Despite Zeke's assumption, he's about to use the missile for the purpose it was originally created for.
Give us back our nuke! Man, if you know what it is, then stop shooting at it! Look at those gunboats over there!
God, what are they trying to do? Blow up the city?
The beast looks totally huge from this distance, but when you check again after crossing the bridge, it's gotten smaller even though it's also gotten closer.
Cole, watch out!
What's this Vermox soldier's problem with trying to kill a giant monster with a nuke? If you stop me, you'll die too, asshole. So, did Zeke also have the time to make this targeting system out of rubber so that Cole wouldn't zap it when he touched it? Like anything else electrical or flammable in this game? Wait, so Cole really does have super strength enough to lift these lights? Why the f haven't we seen him do anything like this before? And how much can he really lift?
Jesus. They had a nuke. Now it's back to war.
Well, of course it's not dead. That would make the entire plot of the game pointless up to this moment, and she'd just have a final boss fight.
It kinda looks unstable. Like it's gonna...
What about this vortex makes Zeke think it's unstable or gives him a clue that it'll explode? It looks the same as it did back in Empire City, and it's not even sucking up everything around it like last time. Hey, now that we've blown the beast's body to smithereens, maybe we can finally see how it puts its body back together. God damn it. Really? No shit. Thanks, game. Despite the crash, Zeke was able to wake up before Cole, even though the last time a vehicle crashed, it killed Wolf and left Cole crippled for 4 hours.
Zeke, where are you?
I chased Nukezilla all the way to Gasworks.
Zeke actually had the balls to follow the beast to the gasworks. Did he really have to follow it, considering how tall it is?
Somehow, I lost him.
And he managed to lose it? Back to the same reroute the power to the Transformers using a Tesla missile mission, but this time we will learn we can kill people with it. That would have been useful before. This is the first time the term Prime Conduit is ever said in the InFAMOUS series, and it won't even be defined until Second Son. The Vermock are just spouting jargon that the player won't even understand, much like the word conduit in the first game.
Mr. McGrath, how do you like my new security?
Behold, Cole's other weakness, metal fencing!
Listen to me, Bertrand. You want me to save your city? You want me to kill the beast? Get me out of here and stay the hell out of my way.
Just stick your arm through and electrocute him. God!
If you're not with me, well, you're against me.
If you're not with me, you're against me, cliché.
There is no place for you in the world, Mr. McGrath. A conduit free with no regard for the natural order. You might have helped me with my mission. God may have forgiven you for what you are, but now, all that you are destined for is the damnation that you so richly deserve.
Hypocrisy.
Nice work, boy. Make sure that nobody finds the body.
Bertrand doesn't stick around to make sure his militia actually kill Cole.
I'm coming, brother.
Zeke?
I would add a sin for Zeke Ex Machina, but I am glad at least that it isn't Nyx or Quo coming to his rescue, and it is instead his human friend without any powers, so take off a sin.
Hey, Zeke. I've been treating you like shit. I'm sorry, man.
This apology would mean so much more to the player if they had actually read the comics to see all the shit Cole said to him.
Look, I don't call you brother because I like the way it sounds.
Even more QuickTime events.
There's a bonus. Looks like I found Bertrand's briefcase.
Why does Bertrand leave his briefcase in the safe with the blast core and not in his personal office? He does have one of those, right? Also, Bertrand didn't just absorb this blast core. He's already absorbed one of them. Why didn't he just absorb this one too, so that Cole wouldn't be able to get one of his own? The main protagonist from a Sucker Punch game is stealing stuff out of locked saves without leaving a Sly Cooper calling card. This giant check places the game in early 2011, and lore states that the flood happened 4 years ago. Alternate universe Hurricane Katrina did not take place in 2005. Let's see. Bertrand's still out there trying to kill us, the city's infested with swamp monsters and deranged ice conduits, a plague is offing people faster than they can be buried, and the beast is lurking around somewhere waiting to wipe us all out. But hey, we've repaired our relationship despite everything else. Sounds like the perfect time to turn on an old western and get wasted. Touching, but I'm assuming that's Quo calling. If she needed them so bad, why didn't she fly over there after they didn't answer? Cole's phone has GPS on it, so she knows where he is.
I love that part.
Discount Wilhelm scream. Nah, who am I kidding? This scene is awesome. Take off 5 sins. Two straight guys fall asleep right next to each other cliche. Good thing Zeke downed at least 8 beers, otherwise this definitely would have woke him up. Yeah, no, that should totally electrocuted him.
How pissed you think he'd be if I sabotaged his boats? Think he'd come out of hiding?
Maybe Bertrand would get so mad he turned into that bug thing, then we could just sit back, let him and the beast have at it.
Oh man, why can't it ever be that easy?
Because as much as I like the idea of watching a Godzilla fight go down, I'd much rather take down Bertrand and the beast myself.
And disable them before they cast off. Try the anchor winches, man. They're electric.
This is the first time Zeke has coughed since he was trying to find out where the transfer device was. I understand why the foreshadowing is related to this mission, but it feels like Sucker Punch just forgot to keep it in the continuity of the game.
What the hell?
What's wrong, Cole? Did all that overbearing foreshadowing from Wolf's Dead drops finally hit you upside the head?
It's good to see you, McGrath.
John, you're dead.
If he were speaking to evil Cole right now, he wouldn't be nearly as welcoming to see him. After all, he's the one that got him killed in the first place. From what I can gather, John walked into a men's warehouse and said, yes, this red suit and slacks combination will go great with my ominous red eyes. Now if I could only find a shirt or a pair of shoes to keep me from looking like a homeless Satan.
I had to pull myself back together. Do you have any idea how hard that is?
Nope, but I'm assuming you got better with practice after we blew you up with a nuke, right? Oh, did I say that out loud?
Not a ghost. You must be some sort of conduit.
Cole first assumes that John is either a ghost or a conduit before assuming he just has a hangover from the night before. The game requires that I actually heal any of the other patients in the plague ward before actually moving on to the one woman that we're supposed to heal.
the beast!
So it took you until you saw the eyes to figure it out. The blast launched Cole all the way to the other side of the street, but this woman didn't go anywhere.
Thank you.
What?
That's my line. It took Cole 2 weeks to wake up and learn how to control his powers. It took her 10 seconds. And that's saying something considering it only took Quo about a day.
Selling force conduits.
Once again, another term that doesn't get properly explained until Second Son, and even then it's still obscure.
Conduits are an abomination.
Oh, do you really think that I'm the demon? The demon of Empire City?
On the good side, no. On the evil side, however... Also, this is as close as Eric Layden gets to sounding like his previous role as Ellis in Left 4 Dead 2.
No, Cole. I think we're both demons. Our pride has turned us into monsters.
Bertrand bases his entire evil plan off his own self-loathing.
I finally get it. Oh, you thought the race sphere was gonna turn you into some sort of shiny superhuman. But instead it turned you into a 50-foot maggot.
Cole.
See, that's where you're wrong, Bertrand. Conduits aren't monsters. No. See, powers don't kill people. Oh no. It's the person behind the powers that kill people.
Great line. Now watch as all the liberals roll in to compare it to gun violence.
That's right.
Oh, come on. We get to see Bertrand transform, but not John? F this game.
I love it! Bertrand's trashing the gas works. All his money's tied up in this ugly place.
Ah, you won't need it. Not after today.
Too bad it's all gonna be rebuilt for John to rampage through later.
We're here! Pile out! Get him while he's caught in the lights!
It still makes no sense why those lights would have any effect on Bertrand. In this case, it just makes him stay still, but I digress.
Let's kill this bastard.
Despite both Quo and Nix being present in the fight, only one of them will give you the option to tag team with them depending on if you're good or evil.
Your buddy Zeke cooked up some do-it-yourself anti-Bertrand missiles. They'll do the job. Trouble is, we can't aim them for nothing.
Oh, sounds about right.
Apparently Zeke took shop classes that also taught him the bare basics of how to build a missile. This is the only scene in the game where Nix and Quo aren't arguing. Hell, Quo even consoles her now that the man that killed her family is finally dead, and I'm taking his sin off for it. I'm not made of stone.
Happy now, Bertrand? Not a conduit anymore.
Even though Bertrand is dead, everything he stood to accomplish remains a huge factor in the world. Conduits and humans never truly find peace, and conduits are treated like terrorists no matter what. Bertrand's death settles absolutely nothing.
Well, took 30 men, 7 chainsaws, and 12 pickups, but we finally got that monster's corpse off the street.
So what did you do with all those giant chunks of monster meat? I hope you burned it and not thrown it in the bay somewhere. His power is corrupting people through noxious gases after all.
Hey.
I'm fine.
Hey. Let me see. Jesus. Why didn't you tell me, Zeke?
Hey, you got enough to worry about.
Sure, don't tell Cole to save his feelings. But if he knew, he probably wouldn't have wasted so much time hanging out on top of rooftops and found the blast cores faster.
McGrath.
John? You never told me you were the Beast.
That name is motivating. Are you afraid of that?
A 100-foot-tall volcano monster is unquestionably something to be afraid of.
Have you seen the new you?
We were friends once. I was hoping we still are.
John has a strange definition of friend. They worked together for a handful of missions to achieve a common goal, and more often than not, he was a total dick to Cole. John tells us his not-so-evil plan of turning people into conduits so they can be healed of the plague, and the only reason why he hasn't done it yet is so he could ask Cole to join him. He could have done it when the town had no defenses and Cole still wasn't strong enough to stop him, but nope. During this mission, Zeke also calls to inform Cole that Nyx's monsters have been killed by the beast when he tried to raise them up, which only confuses me more. Bertrand was cherry-picking potential conduits off the street to turn them into the swamp monsters, right? So how does John's blast kill them? Are forced conduits just humans with powers pumped into them? I suppose we'll never know.
Zeke, I got it.
None of the Vermont grabbed the blast core and ran while Cole was too busy fighting.
You think I'm ready for this?
Way I see it, there's basically two types of people.
Lumping all the world's population into two categories, cliché.
Cheers, brother. Half as long.
Twice as bright.
I know this is like the catchphrase to the game and everything, but I had to do a Google search just to figure out what the hell they were talking about. It's a saying that goes, the candle that burns half as long shines twice as bright. And it makes both endings hurt even more. Here we are at the last blast core, and the subplot that they were essentially killing Cole fell on its face, just like he did.
I was dying, I could feel it.
It didn't even fire off. It wasn't even fully charged.
But wasn't that the point of finding all the blast cores in the first place? Did it never occur to him that he might need another one?
If I use that thing, it's going to kill us. Kill all conduits, not just the beast.
And yet, Second Son exists.
Zeke, we don't know that the RFI will cure the plague. John's method works. I've seen it.
After spending the whole game preparing to kill the beast, Cole will vouch to betray humanity.
I don't care what happens to me. All I care about is that the beast dies. You need to make a decision right now. Are you gonna kill the beast? Be a man of your word.
If Nyx hadn't adopted those monsters, she wouldn't feel inclined to get revenge on the beast and would probably side with him. And this is also that her and Quo can be on opposite sides of the spectrum.
Look, John's plan is not pretty. It's not. But it's right.
Out of all of them, Quo's heel turn is the most out of left field. We have no indication that she would ever consider doing something immoral with the exception of one tiny bit of foreshadowing at the very beginning of the game, and out of all of them, she has the worst motivation to do so, even if she doesn't admit it at this point. Also, she just looked Zeke dead in the eye and told him to accept his death, even though she won't. What a bitch. This is the only choice in the game that is locked depending on your karma state. This decision would have been a lot harder to make if the game didn't decide it for us.
Alright. Let's do it.
Let me go! You are all gonna regret this!
Quo falls so quickly to bad guy status that she even gives the cliche "you're all going to regret this" line. What the f***? If John was gonna attack the city, why'd it take him 3 hours to do it? Was he waiting to let the good guys get a head start?
Alright. As soon as the RFI's ready, I'm gonna flip the switch. There's not gonna be time for goodbyes.
Hold tight, McGrath. Wouldn't want you to fall into the bay. You got work to do.
That's thoughtful. Thanks.
Despite LaRoche's thoughtfulness, this is about to become the stupidest thing we've ever done in this game.
Looks like we're a little late.
Damn, if only we hadn't taken the slowest shit boats.
Damn, that sucker's big!
He might be big, but you ain't shooting shit with that pistol farther than 10 feet. This next segment calls for jumping between the boats to get back to shore before John destroys them all. Just in case you thought it would be a better idea to get up to the bridge and run, which it is, the game will fail you for having a brain. There is no way in hell John could move that fast through water and still keep up with him. Not only is it up to his waist, he's already slow from being a giant volcano. And while I'm on the subject, does Sucker Punch know what happens when lava comes in contact with water?
John could sense the RFI somehow. He'll be coming for it.
How you wanna play it?
You're on defense. Protect the RFI. Going toe-to-toe with John.
Remember back when I applauded Bertrand for actually having a realistic effect on the world around him? I will now send the Beast for having absolutely none of those qualities. He leaves no tracks, despite the ones that he left in the harbor. The earth doesn't shake when he walks, even though Bertrand was able to, and the sound of his footfalls are unbelievably disappointing. Worst giant monster ever! The final boss consists of rinsing and repeating the same boss fight from the beginning of the game.
Turn around, Cole, and walk away!
The only thing more disappointing than John in this fight is Quo, who fights exactly the same as an ice heavy with no unique powers of her own. She's literally just one of the thousands of ice soldiers we've already fought with just a bigger health bar.
Wait. No! You gotta pay!
Nyx thinks Ionic Storm is supposed to kill John when they all know the only way to kill him is with the RFI.
Nick! Nick!
Nyx's Firebird Strike mixed with Cole's Ionic Storm kills only her and not Quo. While it's natural for Cole to grieve the death of his friend, he blames John for her death even though he's the one that killed her with Ionic Storm, and even then he was about to kill her with the RFI anyway. Quo got fried, but she gets up again like nothing happened, and she followed me all the way to the bell tower. So why is she not trying to stop Cole in this scene? Oh, there's the sound effect of booming footsteps that I wanted.
Do it.
It's okay.
It's not okay.
You know, for all the crap that I've given Quo throughout this whole thing, I'm taking off a sin for Dawn's acting in this scene. The only thing I can justifiably sin in this ending cutscene is that damn lightning bolt. It gave the fans so much hope that Cole was alive, and instead they made Second Son after this.
Zeke, this is the only way that makes sense.
Maybe not the only way, but the evidence is definitely damning.
This doesn't change anything.
Did he think they were still going to be friends by the end of this or something?
Oh, really? You ever see me again? Shoot first.
Too bad he doesn't.
It's time.
No, it was time 3 hours ago. And what were you waiting for? I never understood why John wanted their help in the first place. He's immune to conventional weapons, and the only thing that can kill him is the RFI. He's been doing okay so far without them, and if he hadn't wasted time trying to convince them to help, he could have been done with New Moray and on to the next city yesterday.
Damn. They cut the power.
So they aren't trying to get the RFI charged up? Alright, this is it. We're finally gonna get to see him transform into the— Are you f***ing serious? Well, since we never got to see John transform into the Beast, I am beyond confused. How does his transformation work? Does his body actually become rock and lava? Does he just make a giant shell around himself and his real body stays inside somewhere? Or is he controlling this body from beyond the nether with his consciousness alone? I demand answers! I'll admit, this mission was way more fun than the good side version, except now I have to acknowledge the fact that the sound department was lazy for about 10 consecutive minutes.
Cole! Get out of the way, Cole! That beast needs to die! Make me hurt you too!
What is she gonna do? I thought Cole was the only one that could use the RFO. What the f***?
What did you do to him?
RFI is fully charged, but it's got a hell of a kick.
So it shoots out a laser beam now. What happened to the planet-consuming curtain of light? And why didn't we just do this in the good mission?
Look around, Cole! The whole city's turned out against you. Don't you think that's some kind of sign? Still think you're in the right?
Nyx is suddenly enough of a good guy to lecture Cole on what's right and wrong. This crossing the river section would have been a lot better if LaRoche would have called up Cole on his radio, said a few words about him being a traitor, and then John proceeding to sink his boat.
I got the power back on, up ahead.
Where is he? What did you do to Zeke?
Only what I had to.
Did you kill him?
Don't lose focus, Cole. This is horrible work, but it is what must be done.
Just because John dismisses it does not mean that I won't remain curious.
Cole, where are you? Get back here.
Why does he sound so angry all of a sudden?
You don't have to do this, Nick. Come on. Join us.
Cole's fallen so far to the bad side that he's now entitled to asking the good guy to join him on his evil quest. Also, the final battle that leads to the ultimate decision of humanity's fate takes place on the roof of a church because symbolism.
Half as long.
Twice as bright.
I added a sin for the last time, but this time I'd be completely heartless not to take one off.
I gotta try.
I know.
This scene is probably the best example of the animators doing their job right. The subtle internal conflict Cole is having about what he's done and what he's about to condemn the world to is heartbreaking. And people wanted Jason Goddell to play Cole again.
Oh. I can't. I can't do this anymore.
John waited until Cole destroyed the only thing that could kill him before telling him he was gonna give up like a pussy.
I believe in the plan, but I'm so tired. I've had enough killing. I should have died a long time ago.
Quo just hangs out on the tower without once trying to convince him otherwise.
John?
But I know you. If I gave you the power, you would see it through.
It's a good thing John gave him the ability to see the plague earlier, otherwise I would have called total bullshit. Wouldn't it be counterproductive for Cole to walk the whole country with his army of conduits in tow? He'd have to worry about getting them food, water, shelter, and making sure they were safe from the military. Wait a sec. Is that Brent? Cole could have just skipped over all these poor defenseless people begging for him to spare them if he would just turn into 100-foot... Oh, there he goes.
I love you, brother. And I'm sure gonna miss you.